Hello everyone and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Tis I, Aubrey Warwick, your transformation coach, focusing today on your mindset, your fitness, and your food. All right, I got to thinking this morning, it has been on my mind all morning how I'm gonna do this chat, and I think I've got it. Get your pen and paper ready, or just catch the replay and save this video. Tag a friend, why don't you? I dare you. Or follow up with my email. These are 9 P words that I want you to focus on today to heal your Meno gut. Not to be confused with Meno belly. So gals, it doesn't matter if you are perimenopausal or in menopause. This talk applies to you. In fact, let's say maybe you're under the age of 35 and you're like, Warwick, yeah, it still doesn't apply to me. I'm going to say, hold up, wait a minute, because yes, it does. As women, we are ever changing, more so than men. We might want to say guys have it easier than us. Do they? It just is a little different. But you know what? You signed up in this lifetime to embody your divine feminine. Anywhere from periods to pregnancies to pimples, all the way up through perimenopause and menopause. Here you are. So the 9 P words that we're going to talk about, and this should not overwhelm you, but I think this is going to help kind of forecast what we want to audit this week so that you can get from where you are to where you want to be faster. Take the elevator, not the stairs. We are going to be talking about periods, pregnancies, perimenopause, pimples, pooping and peeing, probiotics, proteins, and processed foods. Now, I have learned a lot through the course of my lifetime with my own problems, from destroying my gut health as an anorexic, bulimic, binge eater, to rebuilding my gut health after my pregnancy, which seemed to feel like at that time I was in perimenopause. Even though I don't have now the symptoms, because you know what? I focused on these 9 P words. So what's gonna be really helpful for you is, first and foremost, your period is your body's report card. It's your body's report card. Don't hate on it, man. Wherever you are, if you're regular, irregular, it is like your check engine light. So what you do first, and you can feel free to drop in the comments, are you still getting your period? And what is it like? So when we analyze this, I want to now shed a light on the processed foods, okay? What we like to do is kind of like negotiate or legitimize as human beings. So we're just gonna say us gals, okay? That, well, Aubrey, I do get things that have added protein in them, but they're all what we would refer to as like Frankenfoods, like Frankenstein foods. They're not really real foods. They're processed foods, even though they seem sexy. And I'm going to call myself out, like a good protein bar or the cleanest protein powder that you can have. There's a place for those things in our diet. These little fluffy things like granola bars, or it's, I see it all the time now, like protein water, all these things that it's like, well, I'm going to get my protein in. But ladies, the fact of the matter is these are still processed, and our earth suits really didn't come equipped that well to process them and to utilize that as a main protein source. So it's going to be really helpful for you this week to also audit your proteins, all right? To say, all right, what am I really doing here? Am I eating real animal foods or plant proteins? Or am I just kind of gaslighting myself and like, yeah, I have like a yogurt that has artificial sweeteners added in. So proteins and processed foods are a big factor that do affect our hormones. The other report card that your body's talking to you are pimples. I got one. I can't leave them alone, guys. Once a month, like in the middle of my cycle, I get these sneaky little suckers, and I gotta get them. I do love the little pimple cover-ups now. They save my face, but I still, oh, good God, there's something wrong with me. But I had to examine myself, especially after I had a baby at the age of 36, 37. how old was I? I was 36 when I got pregnant. So I was not just 37 yet. But I had an emergency C-section. I had a baby, what would be considered later in life these days. And my hormones were all over the place postpartum. It was actually surprisingly harder than I thought it would be to lose that pregnancy weight and to regain my shape. And I posted on my personal Facebook wall, I looked like SpongeBob SquarePants for a long, long time. And I had to figure out, how am I going to get a waistline or a resemblance of a waistline back? If I can't do it, how the heck am I going to teach my clients to do that? So that was very problematic for me. But what I learned along the way is that I analyzed my period. I had lots of pimples. What was in my diet? Even if the proteins that I had in there were not necessarily bad, but they weren't really whole foods. I wasn't really consuming enough of my protein from whole food sources. The other thing that goes along with this territory of being a woman is pooping and peeing. Now, those are also your body's report card. I get a lot of times women tell me, Aubrey, I am just not drinking enough water. Well, I do being inconvenient for you. Is your water from the tap? Is that why it just kind of is like not sexy enough for you to drink? I always like to put electrolytes in my water. So analyzing your pee, if you're peeing frequently or infrequently, and this is a big deal. This is not a newsflash nor a public service announcement, but it will tell you. Nicole says, you must have been reading my mind. Oh, good. All right, Nicole, we're going to address that. I'm glad I'm starting to see some things in the feed here. But, yes, your urine shouldn't smell funky. It should also be rather clear, like a very light yellow. If it smells funky like skunk pee, then maybe you're drinking too much Starbucks coffee. That's another talk for another day. The pooping element. I am called a non-public pooper. I cannot poop in a public environment. In fact, my body goes into complete stage fright if I share a room with someone, when we travel. I absolutely hate it. And you know why? Because I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. I gotta hold on to this stuff. So us women, us gals, when we are stressed out or we don't have a routine or we're running around a lot in the morning, we will unintentionally constipate ourselves. So by us not getting rid of these through poop or pee, guess what that impacts? Our hormones. And it gets built up in our gut, right? If we have leaky gut because of pharmaceutical drugs in our system, because of moldy coffee, maybe we have leaky gut because of processed foods, because of stress, all that stuff. Right after your gut lining, guess what? Is your immune system. So if you get sick a lot, we all need a good probiotic. Now, keep tuning into this group because today's talk is not about what probiotic to get. I have done talks on that. Not all probiotics are created equal. And guess what? The probiotic has to last long enough so it doesn't get denatured by your stomach acid to go all the way down to the large intestines and your colon. All right, so making sure that is in your diet. This is all going to help your hormones and remedy the problem of not just Meno belly, because when we think of Meno belly, sometimes we think of like, I'm carrying all this fat in my midsection. I'm talking Meno gut. Now, Meno gut is meaning like your gut starts from your mouth all the way down to, right? Number 2. And it's only 1 cell thick. So Meno gut would be something like, wow, I'm gassy and bloated. Oh my gosh, I have heartburn. I am hiccuping or burping a lot. And those things ain't cute. In fact, when you feel those things, you don't feel like yourself. So in order to feel like yourself again, all these things are tied together. But there is an answer. I want you to start subtracting things from your day and diet, not add to it. So the next thing that comes into your news feed, as sexy as it is, even a probiotic right now. Don't get it. Stop buying shit you don't need, okay? And instead, this is what you're going to do. You're going to assess where you are with your menstrual cycle. See how you can use it as your body's report card. Look at what your skin is doing. Use it as your body's report card. Chances are it is going to point you to processed foods, right? The quality of your food. Food affects our mood, it affects our hormones, it affects our gut. So making wise decisions, and what that requires you is another P word, my ladies, is to pause. If you've done the perfect 10 before, we've said stop. We've done the stop sign technique. Stop and pause. Is this next choice that I'm about to make going to help or heal my Meno gut? And if the choice is no, and you keep choosing it, then you just give me a call and I will help you remedy that. Okay, other things that we can subtract from. So in terms of probiotics, protein, the number of processed foods. So we are not in a shortage. We are not in a famine. You might have some food triggers that you continue to buy in the house. Maybe you pass a certain restaurant all the time that is just your nemesis. Instead of focusing on what you can't and should not have, I encourage you to focus your attention on what is going to please you the most to get you the end result. Oftentimes, we want to just say, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm just trying not to think about it. The easiest thing is to just let it go and focus on something else. But you have to pause. All right, so drop into the comments here anything that you're struggling with those P words. If you need some help, if this talk was helpful, just to give you pause, to focus on those 9 P words, on how you can start to heal your own gut. If you are looking for an expert to get you there, gals, just book that darn call. DM me and we will get started with a free discovery call so that you know what I do to help my top performing clients get results sooner rather than later. I just want to read our comments here. Nicole was so nice to share. She says she's 14 months for the second time out from her last period. Okay, let's see. All right, so Nicole, I just want to make sure I'm reading this right. At first, I thought you meant 14 months postpartum, but for the second time out of her last period. If I'm reading that right, that you are, what would be labeled as menopause is that 12 months without a period at all would be considered menopause. So there's lots of different things to do. It depends on what is aligned with you. I work with people all the time. My MO is you don't really need supplements to get started, right? There's no medications to get started. I'm not selling peptides, anything like that. Do I recommend things along the way? Sure do. But if you're looking for natural solutions that are going to get you to lose weight and build the lean muscle mass, gals, I'm 46. And I do feel that I am blessed because I am in this field, that I get to experiment with all these different strategies myself and that my clients have been through to get them results too. So, all right, gals, I will look forward to seeing you on our next Wellness Wednesday. And heads up, starting June 9th is our next Perfect 10, the summer sizzling edition. I hope you get signed up for that. And who knows, maybe you and I will get a chance to work together one-on-one. Ciao for now.